Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today's video is going to be a fun video. A while back I went to the mall and I stopped in Hot Topic and I found out that they had Riverdale themed makeup. If you don't know what Riverdale is a show based off of the Archie comic cartoon. It's a show on the CW or you can watch it on Netflix. It's a really good show about these teenagers who their town, there's lots of crazy stuff that happens in their town and they have to try to like help the town and fix the town and all that stuff, and it's a really good show. I recommend watching at least the first few episodes on Netflix if you can, because the show is really nice. And I did see that they had this really cool eyeshadow, oh, the brush fell. They have this really pretty eyeshadow palette as well as 4 lip glosses that I wanted to review for you guys. So let's go ahead and start the eyeshadow demo. So I have already primed my eyes and then I set my primer down with the Wet n Wild Brulee single eyeshadow. So going right into the Pussycat shade, I'm just going to take this into my crease and the outer V. Now going into the shade Cherry Blossom, going to do the same thing, but focusing it more on this outer half. Taking a smaller brush and going into this River Vixen shade, just going to apply this on the very outer portion of the eye. I'm going to go into a little bit more of that Cherry Blossom shade and blend that up above the crease a little more. Going in with the brush that this palette came with, I'm going to go into a little bit of the shade Chocolate Shop and just kind of pat this on the outer half of the eye. Going into that Chocolate Shop shade with my finger, I am just going to pat a little bit more on. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the NYX glitter glue and put that on the inner half of the eyes. I'm going to go into the shade I Love You Betty Cooper and pat that all over the inner half. I'm going to go into a little bit of Ginger Stallion and just kind of pat that right on top. Going in with an angled brush with the shade Dark Betty, I'm going to use this as eyeliner and get it as close to the lash line as I can. On a pencil brush, I'm going to go into the shade Pussycat and put that all over the lower lash line. With that same brush, I'm going to go into the shade Cherry Blossom and just put that on the outer part. With that same pencil brush, I'm going into a little tiny bit of River Vixen, just put that on the very outer corner. To finish the eye look, I'm going to take a little bit of my specialty is Ice and put that on the inner corners of the eyes. So I did go ahead and put on some mascara and this finishes the final eye look. I'm going to go ahead and do the lip swatches of the lip glosses. So the review of the lip glosses will be before the eyeshadow palette. Let's go ahead and start the lip gloss review. So to go ahead and start the lip gloss review, here is what the packaging looks like. It's really cute. It looks like a River Vixen cheerleading uniform and it has a little pom-poms, which I think is really adorable. In this collection, you do get 4 lip glosses, and these do claim to be vegan and cruelty-free. And this is what the packaging for the actual lip glosses look like. The caps also look like the River Vixen uniforms, and I will say this is just a sticker that you could peel off and then it would just be a blue cap, and the stickers are very like nonchalantly put on. They look very sloppy, which is unfortunate. The first one is in the shade Perfectly Pink. So this is what this shade looks like. It's insane. So, you know, I heard lip glosses and thought, oh, it's just going to be like sheer washes of color. No, these glosses are no joke. And there is a very strange formula difference between all of these, and I will mention that as we go along. This one is very glossy and it does not dry down. So it looks like this for a very long time. This is a very like Nicki Minaj kind of shade. It looks really not good on me. I really am not a fan of this shade. Each shade does kind of go with a character. I do believe that this is supposed to be Betty Cooper's shade. I don't see her wearing this shade at all though. Overall, not a fan of this color. The next shade is probably the most wearable shade, and it is the shade Pussycats, and this is obviously for Josie because of her band, the Pussycats. So this is the shade Pussycats. I really, really like this shade. It's like a nice kind of purpley tone mauve. So this is where the formula starts to change, is with this shade. The next three become liquid lipsticks. They are not glossy, they dry down completely matte, and they become long wearing. So I think it's very strange that they're called lip glosses when only one of them is glossy. But I do like this shade, and the formula is decent. It is a little drying, and it's a little sticky for a while, but the longer you wear it, the more the stickiness goes away. It does wear for a really long time too, so I really do like that, but I just think it's strange that they're called lip glosses, but only one of them is glossy. But anyway, this is Pussycat. So my camera stopped recording while I was applying this shade, and the shade is Blossom Pride. Obviously this is for Cheryl Blossom. I really, really, really like this shade. I think it's really super pretty, and it's very bright. This is probably my favorite shade out of all of them, just because this one wears the nicest and it applies really nice too. It does need a little bit of building because it's kind of a sheer. It's really strange. All of these formulas are really different, but this one's kind of sheer. It is the most drying of all of them, but I really like how this looks, so I don't mind. But I really do like this shade. So the last shade is the shade Manhattan Princess, which is obviously Veronica Lodge's shade. So I apologize for how sloppy this is applied. It's really unfortunate that this is not that great because the shade is gorgeous. This one in particular is really, really streaky, and I'm assuming it's because it's so dark. It streaks and it doesn't build well, and you have to be able to build it because it's streaky and you gotta cover it up, but I love the color, but it's a shame that the formula is just not good on this one. So now we are going to go into the eyeshadow palette review. They also claim that this palette is cruelty-free and vegan as well. This palette also has the River Vixen kind of uniform look, and it has the little like fuzzy R on it. It's super cute with the little pom-poms on the side too. The packaging is really, really cute on these. When you open it up, you do get a decent mirror that I will never use. And then you get this little brush that is not that great. It's really not. This little flat side is okay for packing stuff on, but this angled side, I don't even know if you can tell, but like it's cut really strange. It has like that dip in it. It's really, really weird, and it doesn't apply anything well. So like the little thing around the brush is really, really super cheap and chintzy too, like the lipstick things. I feel like if they were even gonna do it, they should have done it right, because these just look like crap. So the shadows themselves are really super cute. I don't know if you can tell, but each shadow has a letter in it that spells out Riverdale. Pussycat, the I in Pussycat's starting to go away because I use that shadow a lot when I use this palette. But overall, the quality of the shadows are pretty good. Better than I was expecting for a Hot Topic eyeshadow. Most of the looks that I've gotten out of this palette I've actually really, really enjoyed. The other day, what I did was I put Pussycat in the crease, Cherry Blossom into the crease, both of those on the lower lash line, as well as Chocolate Shop all over the lid, and a little tiny bit of Ginger Stallion on the center of the lid, and it looked really, really nice. It was a really, really beautiful look. I got quite a few compliments on it, actually. I will say that the shimmers need to have a glitter glue base because they are not very poppy on the lid, even when you pack it on with your finger. They do need a little bit of help. So the mattes are really, really nice, but the shimmers do need a little bit of help most of the time. So now I will go ahead and do some swatches for you. So here are the first 4 shades. We have my specialty is Ice, which is a nice shimmer. We have Pussycat, which is that nice brown matte. I Love You Betty Cooper, which is the light pink shimmer. And then Chocolate Shop, which is the shimmery brown. So here are the last 5. Here we have Ginger Stallion, which is that kind of like orangey kind of shimmer. Then we have Cherry Blossom, which is that kind of like reddish brown. It does not swatch well at all, but it does apply really nice to the eyes. I'm a Weirdo, which is the really pretty shimmery green. They should have named it like Serpent or South Side or something like that. Then we have the really nice pretty purple, which is River Vixen. And then this nice black is called Dark Betty. It's a really good black, actually. I think these two look funny together because it just reminds me of Barney. So overall, I do think the products are nice, and I do recommend them if you are a Riverdale fan. Otherwise, why on earth would you get these? That makes no sense. I think the packaging is cute, but I think they could have done better because some of it looks a little janky and a little cheap. But I think like the actual outside packaging that looks like the cheerleading uniforms is pretty cute. On the Hot Topic website, the palette retails for $14.90, and then the lipstick set retails for $12.90, which I don't think is a terrible price for these products. So overall, the products are pretty good, but I would not recommend these to people who are not Riverdale fans, because obviously these products are more like novelty items. I don't know, like they are decent quality, but they're not like, you know, oh, these are like the best eyeshadows and the best lipsticks I've ever used, because they're not. But if you are a Riverdale fan, I would say that these would be a fun little thing to pick up. So that's all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe, please feel free, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.